Hello, dear Libras. I just I just set the cards out for you already. I'd already started recording, but the problem is they were just so similar. The cards were so similar to the reading for Gemini that these are really hard cards to shuffle because they're such good quality. It's the Prisma Visions deck. Anyway, look, first of all, let me introduce myself. I'm Magdalena, sorry, that's my Instagram. I'm getting confused. This is Magdalena Tarot. I'm a baby channel, I'm a new channel, so your help and support is really needed. So if you feel inspired by, if you're guided, helped by any of my readings, please press the like button and subscribe. And if you want to be notified, press the notifications bell. This is not time specific. It could be a reading that helps you for right now. Whenever you watch this video, whenever you catch this video, it could be something about your past that you need to review, you need to look over again, process again. It could be something about your future, in which case it may not make sense to you, but might resonate, but you might need to come back to it later. It could be a reading for somebody else. Intuition works in mysterious ways, and sometimes we receive guidance from somewhere else for somebody else in our lives who we care about, who we know about their situation that needs help. So pass the message on. Just pass the message on. You don't even have to send the video if you don't want to. If you don't think they'll be into this, you might need to just tell them in a very casual way if they're not into tarot or not into YouTube. So I think that's everything. It's the Prisma Visions deck I'm working with, and as I was just saying, yeah, I laid the cards out and they were so similar to the Gemini reading I did last night that I just felt like I needed to put the cards in one by one, very different places in the deck. I know which cards they were, so it's possible that if they come out again, maybe, you have a connection with a Gemini, in which case go and to check out the Gemini reading, okay? That could be relevant for you. It works that way sometimes. Like I said, intuition doesn't have logical, logic. It doesn't work with logic. With our logical mind does not understand intuition. Intuition comes from another realm of understanding and reason. So I'm going to cut the deck here. The Nine of Cups is going to be at the bottom of the deck, which is the root of the reading, which also came up for Gemini. So I'm really feeling a connection with Gemini here. It could be in your chart or someone else's. We've got the Nine of Cups at the root of the reading. So somewhere in the situation that I'm going to be talking about, there has been a wish, a dream, a desire to manifest something. This person is sitting on the bench, so they're thinking about and believing in their dream, or their dream has just come true. Even it's possible that this person is sitting there after the dreams come true. They look so relaxed, it's so often a positive card, particularly in this deck, the Prisma Visions deck. It's something so peaceful, because the traditional Rider and Waite deck, this card is like, it's a bit boastful. It can be a bit boastful, like this guy sitting in the middle of all these, these desires and dreams manifesting, looking really tough and saying, look what I've got. But this guy's so sitting back. It could be masculine or feminine energy, just sitting back and gazing out at the promise, this promise of something beautiful. Belief in something light-filled and beautiful. That's what I'm getting with this at the base of the reading. Now, where I cut the deck, this will be somewhere in the middle of the deck. Remember that the way that the cards fall in order, every single card, 78 cards, this is 79 because there's an extra card in it with the Prisma Visions deck. Sometimes the modern decks do that. They add an extra card in with its kind of own magical meaning. But so the 79 cards, the order that they fall in creates a story. every time they fall in a different order, a different story. So somewhere in the middle of this story, we've got the world. This is important. The completion of the cycle that leads to the beginning of a new cycle. It's different from the death card, which is about facing an ending. It involves grief, loss, letting go, emptying out. And this is like a kind of filling up into that empty space of fruition. It can be also about travel, about internet, reaching out into the world, bringing one's whole self, one's life lessons, integrating them back into a situation, back into the world, back into work. It's something quite triumphant about the World card in its upright position. Of course, every card has its shadow side. But for now, I feel like we're looking at this upright. So those two cards together, very positive, like a vision of the world, a dream within the world, within your kind of idea of what you wanted to become, or how you want to complete something, how you want to move on to the next thing with all of the growth. With all of the dreams, it feels with these two together, it's quite beautiful energy. So let's take a look. I'm really kind of interested to see actually what cards come out here. Okay, so we've got one that's come back up from the Gemini reading, so it's maybe interesting to check that out for some of you. Okay, so at the center of the reading, the heart of the reading, is the Fool card. So we've got beginning again and again. So the journey of the tarot, the very, very first, before first, it's the 0. So that goes very well with that World card. It's like this fresh start, this beginning again. And behind that, the future influence of that card is the 4 of Swords. So it seems that there's been I'm hearing respite. There's been a rest to something. I'd like to clarify that 4 of Swords actually, but you've taken a rest. It can be mental rest as well. So resting the mind, resting the activities, resting the energy that one puts into something, laying it down. It can be meditation, it can be retreating. It doesn't necessarily mean a kind of fancy, massage, organic food retreat, but a retreating back into oneself, in the position which is of the hidden, the unconscious, what people don't see, but what you might experience, or what you might experience but not be aware of experiencing. We've got the King of Swords. So there's a strong inner energy. The King of Swords, master of thoughts, of ideas, master of clear communication. Of course, a lot of the kings are able to communicate, but this energy, this masculine energy, is able to dance. I'm hearing dance with their thoughts and their words. They're also able to really use their words sharply, coldly. The element here is snow, the elemental quality. So within you, there has been a need to, I'm hearing, shut down, together with the 4 of Swords, a need to shut something down, to clear something up, to what's the word that just came into my head? To not quantify, but maybe quantify is the right word. To clarify something, which is really meant, the need to cut off from feelings, because, so interesting, in the position above this, directly above above the Fool and the King of Swords. In the conscious position, we've got the King of Cups, King of Chalices. So, you know, this is two very opposite energies, water and air. But I'm feeling they kind of work together quite well. They balance something out. So on the surface, you may look as if you're very in touch with your feelings. It could also look as if, for example, I don't work with reversals, although sometimes they appear and I use them if they do, but I don't shuffle intentionally with reversals. But if this was the other way around, it might be a king that was, it could even be somebody who is out of touch, extremely out of touch with their emotions. Some people say that the King of Cups it's like still waters run deep. They can actually be quite mirror-like with their emotions. It's very still, you know, stillness of the emotion. You may look at a king, a king of cups. Some kings of cups could look very still on the surface. You like it if we think Scorpio, you know, the feelings may run profoundly deep within the person, but they won't be expressing them much on the surface. And with a king of cups, that's quite possible. They have mastered their emotion. They are in touch with their emotions, but they're not necessarily showing it all. There's not necessarily an outpouring like there might be with the Queen of Cups, the feminine side of this. So with the King of Swords, I'm supposing that the emotion is running deep, but something within you needs to, you know, disconnect. And with the two kings here, now that's interesting, it fell down up in the reverse position. I feel like the King of Cups wants to be upside down. It feels like in order to take this jump forward, the feelings need to be moved away from. The feeling ability of whoever this reading is about needs to be for a while really let go of. So again, this Four of Swords and King of Swords just connect so beautifully in that sense. So I'm wondering, what is the situation? What is this situation that you've had to, you know, with the Nine of Cups at the bottom of the deck, there is a dream. There is a dream that wants to be manifested, or that you want to manifest, or that somebody wants to manifest. Somebody has manifested, is manifesting. But in order for you to take the step forward to begin this new thing with this Fool energy, you have to calm the emotions, really let go of the emotions, even disconnect from the emotions. Now, this is even more pertinent because the Justice card is in the future influence or the future advice position, the Justice card. So this is the third sword I'm seeing in this reading. So this again, the Justice card in other decks, it is the I can't remember her name, the Egyptian goddess, is it, who she kind of holds the heart of the dead to see how heavy their heart is, or how light. I can't remember what the story is. I think it's in the Thoth deck. But the point here is that one sometimes has to let go of one's feeling response to things in order to really know what's good, what's right, what's true. So the next move forward for you, and it's a big move because it's the Fool card, it's a major arcana. You will be in a situation, or you are in a situation, or have been in a situation where it was absolutely necessary to start something new and step in, so to begin again. To begin again and to shut something down. With this Four of Swords, I'm feeling something had to be shut down, to be sat on, as it were, if that makes sense. In the sense that paused. It's almost like the image I'm getting is cutting off the supply to a vein. You know, we've got lots of veins. So, for example, if you've got veins in your legs, I think when they do the varicose vein operation, when they get rid of veins in the legs, if they're too, heavy, too big, they kind of cut off the supply to the veins, and that's what I'm feeling here. The kind of emotional vein of something has had to be cauterized. Is that what it is? So that's what's coming to me now. Something had to be cauterized. Something had to be disconnected from in order to take this huge leap, into something that feels more just. I'm going to clarify this Justice card, and maybe the Fool card as well. Oh, I want to clarify quite a bit of this actually, but let's start. I want to start with the Justice card, because the Pelican in this beautiful Fool card is really looking at this knife, the sword, the knife of truth, the sword of truth. Oh my goodness, another major arcana. So there's really something moving here for you. Whoever this is too. We've got the Justice card clarified by the Moon card, and Temperance. Goodness me, I mean, that's 4 major arcana together, and this is not a huge spread. Then we have the 7 of Wands moving into Strength. So there is some big, huge new beginning of something here. So the Justice card with the Moon and the Temperance, you know, something that was mysterious to us, that was, well, I'm hearing misunderstood, not understood. Something needed clarity. With the Temperance card, again, that I'm feeling that next to the Justice card, this balancing out of things, moving from one thing to the other to try and get a sense of what is the right move, what's the right way forward. So Temperance, it's like, okay, here, the Moon and Temperance together also, this is very emotional, right? Temperance and Moon can be emotions that aren't understood, misconstrued. It can be illusions, elusive. The power of the Moon and the feelings connected to the Moon. And with the Temperance card, this need to temper feeling, to temper emotion, to pull back, to take time. And with this King of Cups here, this swirling, whirling energy, very different feeling there. Very different feeling. That the King of Cups, which I really felt the need to turn around here, is, well, I'm hearing is out of sorts. It was necessary to turn something around here with the feelings. Then we've got the 7 of Wands with this person jumping into strength, jumping into the lion's mouth. There's only so long I feel that you can tread the water energetically. There's only so long you can do this. At some point you have to jump in. You have to face this thing, whatever it is. And I think the way that you face it, this new beginning, this new start, which is a project, which is a relationship, which is a situation with family, with friends. The way you face it is with this really sharp sense of fairness, of weighing things up, not through the feelings, but by really looking at the situation as it is. Really looking at the matter in hand, you know? And that means really facing, really jumping in, facing the difficulty. Whatever the difficulty is, whatever you were scared of, it's going to take strength. The strength card here, yeah, it requires a certain amount of ferocity to face something, to face it fairly. And as I'm saying that, I'm feeling kind of, I'm getting a bit, riled myself. It's like this is something that's maybe been something's been tiptoed around too long. And, it's really time to face it and to say what's right and true. I'm going to clarify the King of Cups. Please bring me clarification to the King of Cups. Sometimes as I'm talking through the cards, it takes me a while to get a sense of the whole picture, but let me know if the things I'm telling you are making sense. So with the King of Cups in reverse, I've got the Four of Wands and the Queen of Cups. Oh my goodness me. So we've got a couple, we've got a pair, and the Four of Wands, and then the Ten of Wands. And then a Queen. So a Queen of Pentacles. I've got two Queen, a Queen of Wands, a Queen of Pentacles. This is to clarify the King of Cups with a Four of Wands and a Ten of Wands. So I'm going to put those two together, Four of Wands and Ten of Wands, because they're in the same suit and there's a sequence there from the 4 to the 10. The Seven of Cups. So there were choices. There were choices. It makes sense. There was a choice that needed to be made. That feels very clear now. So somebody needed to make a choice. A situation that was once one's stability, one's joy, one's, Four of Wands, celebration, one's harmony. It was a steady, joyous thing, became a burden. And someone was left behind. Someone was walked away from. A situation needed to be left behind, needed to be walked away from. Justice card in this sense could be to do with a divorce, or could do with some kind of legal separation, breaking a bond, cutting a tie. And in order to do it, one really needed to cut off with their feeling. There is a couple here, the King and the Queen. So, you can decide. We've got this King and Queen of Cups. And if I put him upside down, this is a couple. Very clear, there's a match in here. There's a match in here, and there's somebody who really needs to decide. With the Queen of Pentacles, I'm feeling that she, in this sense right now, I'm feeling she's actually more connected. It may be that somebody's had to walk away from a Queen of Pentacles, has had to walk away from home, has had to walk away from, and they've really had to, so this connection between this King and Queen of Cups would have been a very emotional connection, a relationship, a work situation, any kind of situation where there was this profound and deep connection, but very, very emotional. And in order to move forward and really know if it was the right thing to do, if it was the right choice to make, one had to cut off from their feelings. Someone had to cut off from their feelings to really decide once and for all if this was the right thing to do. And there's this feeling with the Moon and the Temperance where there was this Moon and Temperance also, I'm thinking soul connection, imaginative connection, creative, balancing out of different energies, balancing out, being in the unknown. It's like, no, that all had to be cut through to know the truth, to really know the truth. The 8, the strength card, which is an 8, it could also be Leo. So we've got some fire there. Next, with the 7 of Wands, I'm feeling like this just needs to be taken hold of. This situation needs to be taken hold of. You know, getting out of the emotion, getting out of the feeling, even stepping away from a relationship for a while with the 4 of Wands, stepping away from everything, you know, and just getting some peace, some tranquility, some separation from something in order to know what the next move is. The big next move is going to be big. This is a new beginning with somebody. It's either the starting again of something new, of a new energy in an old relationship, or it's a complete starting again with a soulmate, with a Temperance card, with a soulmate, somebody with a new connection, a connection that feels mysterious. It feels very different from what you know. If that's the situation, because remember, this is readings for different people, but if the situation is that you have found a new connection with a soulmate and you were already in another situation, or somebody was in a situation with you, it can be reversed. The feelings are so strong and overwhelming and wonderful between this King and Queen of Cups, this connection, this watery, imaginative, playful, I'm hearing, connection, that it's sometimes hard when there's a lot of water, when there's a lot of emotion, to really know, well, hang on, I just need to step back from this and get a sense of what's going on, because if this is going to be the thing that I move into, it's going to be a big deal. Like Fool, jumping into justice. This is a big thing, you know, and it can't be taken lightly. So pause button, King of Swords. I need to get clear about this inside. I need to have inner understanding, inner clarity, because this is a big deal. This is a big new step in an established relationship, maybe for some of you, or in a new connection, a very soulful connection with somebody else. And there's no more tiptoeing around this, you know, energetically. 7 of Wands. In this 7 of Wands, this person is having to balance, you know, standing their ground in a precarious position. And it's like, no, you need to just step into this now. Get your courage, get your strength, make the move. It's beyond your feelings. It needs action, full action, moving forward, you know, moving forward. Of course, the Fool is not always knowing what's coming next. You don't know what's coming next, but what you do know is how to, whoever this is for, you do know with the King of Swords internally, there may be a strong air element in the chart, more than just, I mean, your Libra, of course, and the Justice card is the Libra card. King of Swords is one of the any one of those air signs for me. So, you know, you have the power here of what's the word, of discernment. You have the power of discernment. Use it. Discern. You know, I know the Moon and the Temperance is this beautiful, soulful energy. It's dreamy. It's dreamy energy. I'm talking about Temperance. Temperance, of course, all the cards have multiple meanings, but another meaning for Temperance card, with it next to the Moon card as well, I'm feeling it can be about soulmates. It can be about the merging of two souls with the Cups. We've got Cups there again. Justice, a very different energy. It cuts through. It cuts through the Cups. There's no cup there. It's a sword. It's more air. It's air energy, the Justice card. It's stepping aside. We're putting the feelings to one side. We're making a clear-cut decision. Moving forward into a clear-cut decision. And I'm hearing it's important for everybody that happens. It's important for everybody. And when I'm seeing this lion, I'm seeing this shadowy pair of legs walking around behind the lion. I'm just thinking, you know, this is a part of you. This is something in you that you've been avoiding that you really need to face. And with the traditional Rider and Waite deck, we see the woman putting her hand in the lion's mouth. Peaceful, calmly. Justice card. This is about peaceful, calm deliberation. And it is about facing truth. It's about facing the truth about a connection. About a connection. And with the Four of Swords, sometimes we need to put a bit of Four of Swords time in between two people, or in between three people, right? Whatever way around it is, it could be two feminines and a masculine. It could be, I mean, it could, the feminine and the masculine can be in for men or women. It doesn't matter. But I'm feeling there are three energies here, three different people here. You know, we've got the Four of Wands, but with the Ten of Wands again, it feels like the Four of Wands, a lovely situation, became a heavy situation, became a burden, which threw you into the Seven of Cups, wondering, wanting, longing for other things or other options coming in. And it could be the other options that created the burden in this stable relationship or this stable work situation, if it is that. So I feel like at the bottom of the deck now, yeah, well, I've got the Six of Pentacles and the Ace of Pentacles. So I'm going to finish with these two cards, Libra, because I do feel that I'm hearing that you really have the power to do this. I know it feels difficult, but this is about restoring balance. Restoring balance, taking hold of this situation in a very real way and bringing clarity and bringing balance back in to a situation that maybe you've been lying on too long. Maybe you've been sitting on this for too long, and it's time now to move with this Fool. Take the jump and make the choice and make this real. Make this real now. I hope that makes sense to somebody. Please let me know if it does. Please, yeah, tell me if it was helpful, if it made sense to anybody. That helps me. It helps me to connect. It helps me to get it right. It helps me, to know that I am helping you, whoever you are. And whoever you are, I am sending you so much love and light and strength. Blessings. And thank you for watching. Goodbye.